Alright, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another day of the Singapore Sevens. This is a playoff game for 9th place for Fiji and Spain. The first time ever that the Fijians haven't made it to a quarter-final. And now they find themselves up against a side in Spain who will be playing off for their spot on the Sevens circuit at the end of the month for the Challenger Series. But in this game, it's all about trying to find a little bit of redemption for the Flying Fijians. They have got their selection heavily wrong throughout this competition, and it has been hurting them. But the last game and the game prior to that, they got it a lot more spot on, I feel. They went with more of those experienced guys and also a couple superstars in the lineup as well. But looking through at the starting side for the Fijians in this contest, it is Viliami Naikausa, Georgie Nasova, Ioane Timba, Sivo Mothinothangi, Tario Tamani, Ponipati Lognamasi, and also Felipe Satoranga, the last man in the starting side. Then for the Spanish, it is going to be Francisco, Manu Moreno, Paul Pla, The Forga, Nato, Sain Strapanga, and then also Tiago Ramiro, the last man in their starting side. Hi all, Hamish says, Roll, welcome in mate, hope you are keeping well. I hope you are excited for another day of the Sevens. Of course, the next game that we have got is actually a women's semi-final that has taken place between New Zealand and Fiji. Should hopefully be a pretty awesome game. Currently taking place, the playoff game between South Africa and USA. And at the moment, South Africa are actually leading that contest with only a few moments remaining in that match. Currently 5-0 in that game. And to Fiji, Hamish says Vinny there. But yeah, this Fijian side, they've got all the potential in the world. They just haven't really been able to back it up with their performances in the last little while. But I think that the selections have heavily impacted how they play. You don't sound good, buddy. Yeah, it's not great. Drink some water, mate. You sound off, says Cats. Now, it's not just water. Like, it's that I'm very sick. But we have still done a lot of commentary over the weekend. The throat's killing me. The nose is blocked. The head's throbbing, but we are still here for another day of the Sevens. I think South Africa have just won their game up against the USA women's side, which is a massive win for the South Africans. It looks like they've injured 2 players in the process. This next game now between Fiji and Spain is just about to take place. And please be nice to yourself, says Vinny. I mean, after the weekend, I'll get to get a little bit more rest, but up until then, it's going to be pretty brutal. We've got a 2 a.m. live stream tonight taking place between Toulouse and the Harlequins. So that is another one to watch out for, ladies and gents. The only rugby union game that we are going to be doing of today. The rest of which being the matches of the Sevens. But this game about 5 minutes delayed, I believe. So what we will quickly do is we'll go on to our streams and we'll quickly delay that next one that has taken place between New Zealand and Fiji. We'll delay that to 5:05. Oh, no, they might. Yeah, what we're going to be optimistic. We're going to assume that they'll make up the time that they have now lost. But Felipe Satoranga, he is one that I'm looking out for in the starting lineup. Also, Tario Vailawa. Does the impact way is Fiji in the quarters? They are not. No, this is the 9th place playoff game. But in the women's side of things, Fijiana are actually in the semi-finals going head-to-head with New Zealand. So I've been doing pretty well, the women's side. Men's not quite able to back it up. They have had their worst ever finish in the Singapore Sevens. Even if they win this game, the Fijians before this competition had never missed out on a quarter-final in Singapore. I show them there. Big man, Sivo Mothinothangi. That's the thing though. Spain have got a little bit of a dark horse side and they will be fighting for their spot at the end of the month to be able to continue playing on the Sevens circuit. At the moment, it looks like they could find themselves here with the likes of Uruguay, Kenya, those type of sides that are just narrowly outside. Dang, sorry, and asking, says Vinny. No, it's okay. But yeah, the Fijians unfortunately just haven't had the tournament that they would have liked. That is going to be knocked backwards, I believe, by Spain. The start of this contest is underway, and the Spanish will be in first position. La Forga now going off to Sain Strapanga. Pass on the outside to Ramiro. Also, very important throughout the games that we have seen. You need more possession than your opposition. And currently Spain have got themselves their hands on the ball. Francisco Costuela, that's stolen in the breakdown. And now opportunity for Nate Carlson to get the offload away to Rio Vailawa. Now he almost broke the tackle with Manu Moreno, but he knocks the ball on in the process. Welcome back to the channel, says Abdul Malik. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are keeping well. Spain knocking that one on, only 5 metres out from their line. Looks like Paul Pla may have suffered a little bit of an injury here. Hopefully nothing too serious. They are going to need him, like I mentioned, for those playoff games that they have got. It's going to go down to the wire by the looks of it, because the USA, they are playing off for 7th. Great Britain, if they finish first, I believe would actually put themselves inside of the safe zone. When will the All Blacks 2024 be announced? It's normally about I think it's the second last week of Super Rugby, so normally about mid-June. We do get to see the ABs announced, or even early June. Sometimes they do announce it, but it's still a wee way away. We might do some sort of video of us predicting the All Black squad. We think Scott Robertson will go with. Relatively tricky to predict who he will have in his side, though. Now going off to the left-hand side for the Spanish. Moving up to the 22, Nato. The man with the ball in hand now, Sainz Trapanga. Passes on the outside, out to Paul Pla. Stepping nicely, so whatever the injury was, seems like he's a lot better off now than he was only a minute ago. I think Spain will win, however Fiji is doing her best. All the best to you both. There's a Vinny Laforga now. Taken down. And there's a little knock on the ground there. Okay, Laforga is not happy about it. He feels like he didn't actually knock that ball on. But it is going against him there. 2 minutes into this contest currently, and still 0-0 between these two sides, of course, between South Africa and the USA. It was only 5-0 at the end of the game. Yep, there it is. Just a little knock on. I tell you what, that's some good, brutal physicality from Sevu Mothenofangi. As he made the tackle, he kind of threw his head, not in a head-butting way, but he just put his head right in the face of Laforga and on the ball, trying to make him spill it. That's a great steal at scrum time from Spain. I don't think we've actually seen that happen throughout the Singapore Sevens as of yet, not at least in some of the games that we have covered. A clean scrum turnover. Fiji looking for possession, not able to do so. Now Laforga again. Nice though, tackle made on him. Picked up and dropped by Rio Vailawa. They've got themselves a new advantage. Game back later. Please have look after yourself, mate. Praying for you. Says Vinny. Yeah, we will see a little bit later on. Of course, this will be the last game for the Fijians, but we have still got the semi-finals and the finals coming up later on today. Little chip in behind, attempted from Laforga. In fact, it was Paul Pla, and the bounce is not favourable for him, but it sits up for his teammate, Santiago Ramiro. Now, Spain have taken the lead. Exactly what they would have wanted as well, to just keep that position in hand. Which, I mean, I think the position stat at the moment is about 90% in their favour. Paul Pla wanted the bounce of the ball, and he realised as soon as it bounced sideways it wasn't his, but Ramiro was there ready for the bounce, and he is the man. And that one has missed away to the right-hand side, so the score between these two sides will remain at 5-0 in favour of the Spanish. Currently 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and Fiji are really yet to get any sort of attack mounted throughout the early stages. That one's going to be kicked off short, slapped back by Spain, and picked up beautifully. Francisco Cosuela, he will score it, and that is one of the quicker tries you will see off a reset being scored in the Sevens circuit. Spain will now find themselves 12-0 up. Not exactly the start that Fiji wanted off the kickoff. Just really nicely done. Ramiro, the try scorer, slaps it back into the hands of Coscuela. A moment, we all quickly sneeze. We are good. 2.5 minutes remaining in this contest, ladies and gentlemen, and it is 12-0 in favour of the Spanish. And they had a massive win over the Samoans in the group stage fixture. Then they also beat the Samoans in the playoff game, although that game was a lot closer In this one, though, Fiji currently find themselves 12-0 down up against Spain, and Fiji would have come into this contest as very heavy favourites. And some chilies, brother. So here's a Naz Williams in there as well. That's going to be tapped back by Spain. They've got the position again, Nato going in behind to the left-hand side. Lafonga in the midfield. Like they've just said, Fiji just can't get their hands on the ball, and that is a lot of credit to Spain for how they've been able to keep that ball available for themselves in the breakdowns. Just recycling it, finding the offloads when they feel like Fiji are going to look for that turnover. Now bounce pass out wide to Nato again, looping around, sounds Trapanga, goes to Laforga, stepping around Nicolsa. This is looking like a good opportunity for the Spanish to get themselves another 10 metres out from the line currently. Sainz Trapanga going back across to Laforga, tried the big cutout pass, and it's a knock on from the Spanish. Yeah, well, Laforga, it seems like he doesn't actually know the knock-on rule, because that is twice now that he's dropped the ball, and twice that he said to the referee, it wasn't me. It must have been someone else who was hanging on to the ball at the exact same time as myself. And yeah, just to be fair to him there, it does actually hit the hand of the Fijian player. So it could end up being considered as a knock-on in the tackle. I think they've just shown the replay, and the Laforga has said, maybe I was right there. 45 seconds remaining. Fijians in position about 12 metres out from their try line. They've had no position, no territory throughout this first half. Can they turn it around in the last 30 seconds? Get themselves on the board. Now breaking off the back, really been impressed with Spain. Yeah, they've been like one of those sides that, in terms of, oh, that's terrible from Georgie Nasova. He ran the support run and never even looked like he wanted to actually catch that ball. And they are one of the sides, Spain, that I hope do win their games at the end of the month so that they can continue on the circuit. And I feel like, it's a brutal setup. 4 sides will stay in the comp of the 8 sides. Like there are 4 teams such as Uruguay, such as Kenya. All these sides want to get onto the circuit, and they will have the opportunity to next year. But for now, it is the Spanish, Samoans, Great Britain, and Canada who are in a little bit of trouble. About to feed the ball in for Laforga. Goes back into the pocket, and they will kick that ball into touch and accept a 12-0 lead heading into half-time. A much better start to this match for the Spanish, who, like I mentioned, came in as huge underdogs for this matchup. Now, the next match that we have got as well, ladies and gentlemen, I should mention, will be a women's semi-final. That is the one taking place between Fiji and New Zealand. Hopefully, it is going to be a pretty awesome game. It should be relatively close, I have a feeling. Or at least I hope it is. I feel like that would look a lot better. True Crime Comedy Channel has said Fiji got this one. Tony was much easier to say, wasn't it? And double check on the Woeful Warriors. See, here's Naz Williams. Oh, they'll be playing, won't they? Half-time down by 2, 8-6 at the moment. So hopefully they can come back into that game, which I think they'll have a decent chance of being able to do. Now, after Fiji versus New Zealand, I should also mention we have got the 2 men's semi-finals that are taking place, Ireland versus Great Britain, as well as the other contest, which is going to be New Zealand versus Australia. That is a rematch of a group stage match, and actually, to be fair, Great Britain versus Ireland is also a rematch of a group match. Yeah, second half, just around the corner for these 2 sides. Hamish, you know me so well, bless you, mate. Come visit you one day. Says True Crime Comedy Channel. But channel's spelt wrong. Unless you're talking about like a canal, are you? No, even that would be spelt wrong. You're talking about Chanel, the name? About 1 minute 20 away from the matchup between Australia and New Zealand taking place. The Australians just arriving on the bus. The New Zealand women's side, they are currently having some snow cones by the looks of it. Getting ready to go for this match. They are playing in only 12 minutes time. It's me, mate, Tony from Greymouth. I do know it's you, Tony. But Yeah, it's an interesting name change. What warranted the name change? For yourself, you go on incognito. Now it's kicked downfield off the kickoff, and Fiji have got themselves the position. They've dropped it backwards. Felipe Satoranga goes across to Ioani Teba. Now Vailawa onto the 22 here for Georgie Nasova. If Spain want to win this game, they have to make sure that they keep on applying pressure in the breakdowns and try and starve the Fijians of position. One moment, we are about to sneeze. There we go. Can you show the woman eating the snow cones? At least giggle, giggle. Says, right. I mean, there was Michaela Blythe, and whatever's in that snow cone must make her super duper quick. That's a quick tap taken from Josefa Talatholo. Wasn't the cleanest tap we've ever seen. He did actually end up kicking it forward and didn't reclaim it until a couple bounces of the ball. But that is going to be another penalty won by Spain. That time Naito is the one who gets over it and does manage to get his side the penalty. But I can see it in your eyes. You don't seem well respectively. Cheers for holding it down with the commentary still. Demand. Says Nars Williams. Yeah, I'll be honest, we're feeling pretty rough overall. But the Sevens is on, and like at the end of the day, we still normally do the streams even when we're sick, which unfortunately has been a lot more recently. We've actually had 2 weekends of Sevens in a row that we've been unwell. How you doing, Amish? Sore throat, reckon a scarf. To keep your neck warm, says Blues Nate. Yeah, the throat's pretty brutal at the moment. And the nose is a bit blocked, but other than that, I'm alright. Still enjoying the rugby. Now, ball about to be fed in. It's going to be knocked on there by Spain. Now they'll go back for the scrum feed. Favour of the Fijians. I think Laforia is starting to get a little bit frustrated with the handling of the Spanish in this contest. It hasn't been as crisp as we've seen in some of their other games. So 5 minutes left though. And Fiji, like I said, they aren't out of this game. And they are probably one of the only sides that when they're down by this much, with about 2 minutes to go, you'd still back them to be able to come back and get close to a win. Kiminelli Risaku making his way onto the field. It's going to be for Georgie Nasova. About 35 metres out from their line here, the Fijians. With Tario Vailawa getting ready to put this ball in. Taking its time. There we go. The ball has gone in now. Passing back across to the left-hand side. Here comes Georgie Nasova. In fact, no, sorry, his replacement, Kiminelli Risaku. Back across to Satoranga. Thought about firing the wide pass to Rio Vailawa, but instead will hang on to that one. Now Josefa Talatholo. Ball on the inside to Kiminelli Risaku. Manages to bust through one tackle. But Spain's defence throughout this game has been very impressive. And now it's going to be another penalty going the way of the Spanish. 4.5 minutes remaining at the moment. Ramiro. Worked that hard in the breakdown. He has got drool dribbling down his chin. Didn't even realise. Because he was that locked into that breakdown. But now it's scrum feed for the Spain side again. So it's going to be the last performance from both of these sides for the Singapore Sevens. But they will be back in action next month or in the early stages of next month. And late stages of this month. When those playoff games are going to be taking place. So Fiji have made a couple more changes. Lipo Bukiaro, I believe, will also have made his way onto the field for Fiji. Juan Martinez puts the ball in. Looking for that next gap, but goes off to the right-hand side out wide. Here comes Paul Pla. That's his first carry since about the 3rd minute of the contest. Ball spills out the back door and dribbling down his chin, mate. And now nice ball on the inside for the Fijians. Ioani Temba finds the pass now to Naikalsa. Spain scramble defence working not too badly for them. At the moment, here comes Josefa Talatholo. Ball on the inside to Kiminelli Risaku, who breaks through and scores the try for the Fijians. 3.5 minutes left, and they're on the board for the first time today. Juan Martinez, wonderful name, says Tony. Just keeps the ball in the field of play for Tario Vailawa. It's those little things that you need to get right. Just a really nice ball on the inside to Kiminelli Rasaku. Does manage to score that try. Go Fiji, says DJ Shack. The kick is also successful, so that will make the score 7 points to 12. In favour still is Spain, but 3 minutes left is a long time in a match of sevens. So this one is anyone's contest to be able to win. Okay, time is back on now. Fijian supporters in attendance still loving this contest. Fiji got this, says Tony. Knocked back by the Fijians. Now one-handed slinging pass from Loganamasi. Naikolsa looking for a gap. He's found himself in a 3-on-1 scenario though. Fiji have still got it. Oh, Loganamasi does get wrestled down well by the Spanish defence. Another fend from Kiminelli Rasaku. Added quite a bit of an impact. Fiji trying to grab that ball, and they have got themselves the penalty now in the breakdown. Spain coming in through the side. They went on the mark. They will have to go again. Naikolsa going back across. In fact, that time it might have been Ravovo, another man who has made his way off the bench for the Fijians. Josefa Talatholo running forward. One moment. We are good. Now Ioane Temba, 2 minutes remaining in this contest. They've got themselves another penalty here, Fiji. Quick tap taken by Filippo. Bukayaro almost through. Gives it away to Naikolsa, who will finish the job for the Fijians, and they will now take the lead if this conversion goes over. Like I said, you cannot underestimate a Fijian side when there's still 3 minutes or so left on the clock, because they will come back into a game. They're just showing that slow motion pass from Loganamasi just in one hand and pretty much just whipped it across. What time's my ex-Tyler Nathan on, dude? So that is going to be in 2 minutes' time that we see New Zealand versus Fiji in the women's semi-final. We are also, of course, going to be covering that game on the channel, but only 80 seconds now remaining in this contest between the two sides. Fiji have taken the lead, sitting 14 points to 12 up. They, of course, will want to extend that lead there a little bit more. All right, we'll go like this and like that. There we go. Now kicking this one off, Fiji. 70 seconds left. It's going to be slapped across by Juan Martinez. The Forga. Across to the right-hand side here. Slinging pass, knocked on there for Spain. That hasn't quite worked out in the way they would have liked, and they're close to getting wrestled into touch. There was also a knock-on, says the referee. So 45 seconds remaining, and Fiji have got themselves the scrum feed. Perfect time to have that ball, Fiji. All they need is a big scrum here, and they may just about be able to finish this game on a high. Will be a 9th place finish, which is the lowest ever for the Fijians in Singapore. The first time that they've ever missed out on a quarter-final. Still respect to Spain. Really improving. Says Naz Williams. Yeah, they're looking good, and hopefully they are able to win their games next week. In about 3 weeks' time for the next leg. Filippo Bukayaro tried to take the quick tap, and he's actually knocked that ball on, says the referee. That is the second time in this game that Fiji have gone for a quick tap and haven't actually been able to hit their foot and pop it straight up into their hands. Yeah, there's a little knock on there from Filippo Bukayaro. Now 10 seconds past regular time. It's going to be in the hands of the Spanish at scrum time. If they can score now, they will win. But if Fiji can get this ball back and kick it into touch, that will be the end of the contest. We've got another scrum reset here. Just asking for a little bit of space and stability there, the referee. 30 seconds past now. The full-time siren, Juan Martinez, feeds the ball in for Spain. This will be their last chance to be able to walk away with points in this contest. Claimed by Fiji. And Ioane Temba will steal it and get himself the try at the end of this game. Fiji win it up against the Spanish. And more than likely it will be 21 points to 12. But the next live stream, ladies and gents, is just around the corner. That will be between Fiji and New Zealand. So be sure to pop over to that one. But the Fijians victorious in this contest over Spain. We'll see you all in a very short moment for that women's semi-final.